Welcome to the EPSO HQ Abstract Reasoning course. Abstract reasoning looks intimidating, shapes, arrows, patterns. But underneath, every question works the same way. Over the next chapters, you'll learn to see the hidden rule, fast. Let's start by looking at one. Here is a question. 4 figures form a sequence, and you must choose the fifth from the options. It looks abstract, but it is not random. The arrow turns a quarter turn clockwise at every step. Find that rule, and the answer is simply the next turn. Right now, this might take you a minute. Soon, seconds. That is the whole test in one idea. Every abstract reasoning question is a sequence built on a hidden rule. Your only job is to find the rule and apply it. By the end of this course, you'll recognize the common rules on sight and solve any question in under a minute. So what is abstract reasoning exactly? You are shown a series of figures that change from one to the next according to a rule. One figure is missing, and you pick it from a set of options. No words, no numbers, just shapes and the logic that links them. The format is tight. In the AD5 competition, abstract reasoning is 10 questions in 10 minutes. That is 60 seconds per question. Enough time to find a clear rule, but no time to drift. Speed comes from recognizing the rule, not from puzzling it out. Understand what it measures. Abstract reasoning does not test knowledge, vocabulary, or culture. Nothing you learned at school. It tests raw pattern recognition. How quickly your mind spots structure and projects it forward. That is why it is the same in every language. One fact shapes your whole strategy. Abstract reasoning does not count toward your ranking. It is a pass or fail gatekeeper. Combined with numerical reasoning, you simply need at least 10 out of 20 across the two. Clear the bar, and its job is done. So here is the smart approach. Train abstract reasoning until you clear the threshold comfortably, and then stop. Every point above the bar is wasted. The real ranking is decided elsewhere. Pass this efficiently and protect your time for the tests that count. Every question comes down to one skill: finding the hidden rule. It feels like magic when someone does it fast, but it is not. It is a method, a fixed way of looking at a sequence. Here is that method. 4 steps. 1. Compare the first figure to the second and name a single thing that changed. 2. Confirm that same change from the second to the third. 3. Look for anything else that is also changing. 4. Predict the missing figure. Then find it in the options. The hardest part is step 1, and the secret is to isolate. Do not try to watch the whole figure at once. Pick one element, one shape, one line, one dot. Track only that across every panel. Then start again with the next element. One thread at a time. And always predict before you look. Decide what the missing figure must contain, the rotation, the count, the color, before your eyes touch the options. Look first, and the wrong answers will pull you toward them. Predict first, and you simply recognize the one that matches. One more thing to expect. A figure rarely changes by just one rule. Most questions layer 2 or 3 simple rules at once. A rotation and a color change, a movement and a count. Find them one at a time, and even a busy figure becomes simple. Now the pattern families, the recurring rules behind almost every question. The first and most common is rotation. An element turns around a point by the same angle at every step. A quarter turn, a half turn, a small fixed twist. Here it is. Worked. The arrow points right, then down, then left, then up. A quarter turn clockwise every step. So the fifth figure completes the turn, back to pointing right. That is option A. Rotation. Solved in one observation. When you suspect rotation, ask 2 questions. Is the angle constant, the same turn at every step? And which direction, clockwise or counterclockwise? Get those 2 right, and you can project the rotation as far forward as you need. Closely related is the path and movement family. Here, an element does not spin, it travels. A dot moves around the edge of the frame. A shape steps along a fixed track, corner to corner. The element stays the same, only its position changes. For anything that moves, track position panel by panel. Mark where the element sits in figure 1, then 2, then 3. The step it takes will be regular, the same distance, the same direction. And the missing figure is simply one more step along that path. The next family is accumulation. Instead of something moving or turning, something is added. Each figure keeps everything from the one before it and gains one more element, one more dot, one more line, one more shape. Here is accumulation in its simplest form. 1 dot, then 2, then 3, then 4. Nothing moves, nothing turns. The figure simply gains 1 dot at every step. So the missing 5th figure holds 5. With accumulation, you are really just counting. Accumulation looks easy, and it usually is, but it punishes carelessness. The whole answer is a count, so count deliberately. Check the exact number in every panel, confirm it rises by the same amount, and the missing figure follows automatically. Then there is dual speed. This one catches people. 2 things change at the same time, but at different rates. One element rotates at every step, while another rotates only every second step. 2 clocks, ticking at different speeds, inside one figure. The trap in dual speed is trying to watch both at once. Don't. Track the first element all the way through the sequence and nail its rule. Then go back to the start and track the second, separately. 2 passes, never 1. Some questions are not about movement or counting at all. They are about identity. In the shape cycling family, an element runs through a repeating list of shapes. Circle, square, triangle, then circle again. A fixed cycle, on a loop. To solve a cycle, do 2 things. First, list the shapes in the exact order they appear. Second, count the cycle's length. How many shapes before it repeats? Once you know the loop, the missing figure is just the next item on it. Close to cycling is permutation and swap. Here, the shapes themselves do not change. They trade places. 2 elements exchange positions, or a set of items rotates through a fixed number of slots. The cast stays the same. The seating changes. Keep the 2 clearly apart because they look alike. Cycling changes what an element is, its very shape. Swapping changes only where elements are, their position. Ask which is happening, and the rule becomes obvious. For both, the move is the same. Name the pattern, then project it. Say the cycle out loud, or trace the swap with your finger. Once you have named it precisely, the next figure is no longer a guess. It is a certainty. The 7th family is quadrants and sectors. The frame is divided into regions, halves, quarters, or pie slices, and each region carries its own content. The figure looks crowded, but it is really several small puzzles in one. So divide and conquer. Treat each region as its own little sequence. Solve the top left across all the figures, then the top right, and so on. A busy 4-region figure is just 4 easy questions, stacked together. The last family is interaction and fusion. 2 elements do not just sit side by side, they combine. 2 shapes overlap and merge, or one is subtracted from the other, leaving only what they share or only what they don't. For fusion, the question to ask is what rule joins them? Is it everything from both? Only the overlap? Only the parts that don't overlap? Find the joining rule from the early figures, then apply that same rule to produce the missing one. That is the full set. 8 pattern families. Rotation and movement. Accumulation and dual speed. Cycling and swapping. Quadrants and fusion. It sounds like a lot, but here is the relief. Any single question is built from just 1 or 2 of them. You have found the rule. Now, you must turn it into the right answer. And the options are where careful candidates still lose marks. The options are not neutral. Each wrong one is engineered to look almost right, so lead with your prediction. Before you even read the options, decide what the missing figure must contain. Every rule applied. Hold that picture in your mind. Then the options become a simple recognition task. Which one matches my prediction? If two options look close, test them properly. Take the first rule you found and eliminate every option that breaks it. Then the second rule and eliminate again. A wrong option always violates at least one rule. The one that survives every rule is your answer. Know how the traps are built. One wrong option has the right rotation but the wrong shape. One has the right shape but the wrong count. Each decoy gets most of the figure right and exactly one rule wrong. That is precisely why you check every rule. So change how you think about the options. You are not searching for the right answer. You are eliminating wrong ones. Rule by rule, the field collapses to a single figure. Eliminate, don't search, and the decoys lose their power. On test day, abstract reasoning is fast. 10 questions, 10 minutes. That pace feels alarming, but it is manageable because the questions are designed to be solved quickly once you know the families. Here is how to handle the clock. Your budget is 60 seconds per question. Most you will solve well inside that. Treat the minute as a hard limit. If a question is not yielding, that is not a signal to push harder. It is a signal to make your best guess and move on. Keep the gatekeeper mindset. You are not chasing a perfect score. Abstract reasoning does not rank you. You are clearing a threshold. A calm, steady pass is a complete success. Do not burn nervous energy chasing marks that do not count. And one firm rule for the hard ones. If a question will not crack inside its minute, never leave it blank. Eliminate whatever options you can, pick from the rest, flag it, and move. A reasoned guess protects the gate. A blank simply gives a mark away. Above all, practice. Rule spotting is a trainable reflex. The more sequences you work through, the faster the families jump out at you. A candidate who has seen 100 rotations sees the next one instantly. Put in the repetitions, and test day takes care of itself. Let's compress the whole course. 1. Every question is a sequence with a hidden rule. 2. 8 pattern families cover almost all of them. 3. Predict the answer, then eliminate the options rule by rule. 3 ideas. Carry them in. Look at this one more time. The question that seemed abstract at the start is now obvious. An arrow, a quarter turn clockwise, completing its cycle at option A. That is what training does. The patterns stop being puzzles and start being familiar. So here is your next step. Go to EPSOHQ.com, open the Abstract Reasoning Trainer, and drill the 8 families until the rules jump out at you. That is where recognition is built. We'll see you inside.